Move on to the 50s after this one, and well, we've had 4 heats or 5 heats of all the events so far. 50s a little bit different. We're at double figures in terms of heats. The first heat of the men's 400 though is underway. Just 4 of these for us to enjoy. Jamie McDonald goes in lane number 2 for Warrender. Callum Young in 3 from East Kilbride. Finlay Hart in 4, East Lothian. Ian Fletcher in 5, Mulgai and Bearsden. Tom Jeffers in lane number 6 from Perth, and Ian Rose from Warrender in lane number 7. In fact, no Jamie McDonald in this one, not taking the start in lane number 2, so we are left with the 5 swimmers, and all of them are, well, fastest 4:24, Finlay Hart, and the slowest is lane number 7, Ian Rose, 4:31.
Tom Jeffers 101.46. He had a very good swim last night in the 800, and he leads the field at the 100 metre mark by some way. We'll just give you the finalists, provisional finalists for the 200 butterfly for men. They are Ryan Brown, Tom Bealey, Callum Young, Fraser Lowther, Ryan Retson, Mark Elrick, Cameron Finlayson and William Muirden. Provisional B finalist Alistair Miley, Murray Quillen, Joseph Miley, Alistair Robertson, Jonah Walsh, Tom Robinson, Owen Strachan and Tom Jeffers, who is in the pool at the moment, so fingers crossed he'll still be a B finalist. Finlay Hart and Jamie Booth are the 2 reserves for the 200 fly this evening, subject to confirmation after the afternoon swims. That's a very, very good swim from the Perth City lad, Tom Jeffers. Looked very, very good last night, Paul, in the 800, and he's looking very good again in the 400. 2:08.41. So that was about a 1:07. So if he can keep that up, he's going to be somewhere inside his entry time. 4:28 is his entry time dead, so probably going to come a good 3 or 4 seconds inside that. He's gone probably about 10 metres clear of the field. Callum Young and Finlay Hart vying for second place. Looks like Finlay in lane number 4 just has a slight advantage over Callum Young. Now, no doubt about our leader Tom Jeffers, some 7.5 seconds ahead of the other 2 in second and third.
Yeah, looking very good indeed, and I have to have quite a wide camera shot to get the leaders all in shot at the same time as they come down to this 300 mark. And Jeffers looking very, very good, the Perth swimmer, 3:15.45, so he is probably in range for something around about the low 420s there. He's going very, very well. Of course, his Perth teammate Stephen Milne, of course, on the way to the Olympic Games in Rio, and the other swimmers almost out of shot completely there. It's a good contest for second position between lanes 3 and 4, and that's Callum Young and Finlay Hart. But coming down now, Jeffers now really going to the legs now, really wants a good time here, and he's coming in to win this one very, very impressively indeed. The other swimmers are a fair margin behind, and look at the power of this young man, Tom Jeffers, coming in now. He's going to be under the 420 just, he is, 4:18.55, and a few cheers from his supporters there on the poolside and in the seating here, but that is an excellent time, 4:18, and well, will that be enough for him to force his way into the final? Maybe not, but it's a big, big improvement for the young man from Perth. Fantastic.
Yeah, certainly if there was a B final, you would put your money on him almost being in that B final. That was a super swim from Tom. 16-year-old, so he's probably been relaxing the last few days, maybe in the middle of Nat 5s, so I'm sure he's over all those and being able to relax and enjoy the swim. But a fantastic swim from the Perth lad. On to heat number 2. Patrick Smith from South Ayrshire in 1. Ian Rennie, Dundee City Aquatics in 2. Marshall Illingworth, South Ayrshire in 3. Fraser Allison, Warner Baths in 4. Oscar Heald from Elgin in lane 5. Jonathan Christie, East Kilbride 6. His teammate Cameron Kavanagh in 7. And Logan Eason from Stirling Swim in lane 8. And almost 6 or 7 swimmers in a line at the 50 metre mark. Over on the far side, Logan Eason turns 29.57.
Yeah, Logan Eason in that outside lane here, all pretty tight across the pool. Here, Logan Eason in the very top of your screen there. And in the centre now, coming through, Fraser Allison. In line number 4, Marshall Illingworth. Also going well in line number 3. Those two now taking up the running. Again, swimmers we saw yesterday in the distance events in the 1500 freestyle. Fraser Allison looking pretty good in these early stages. That red cap, familiar red cap of Warrender. Illingworth chasing the Warrender man. And these two just forging a lead now over the rest of the field. And maybe in lane number 6, Jonathan Christie from East Kilbride in 3rd position. Fraser Allison and Illingworth looking pretty good so far. Fraser Allison just beginning to edge it at the moment. Illingworth though holding on to the pace of Allison. Allison, you've got to say, as they come down to the halfway point, does look the stronger at this stage.
Certainly does, Paul. Very nice rhythm, good stroke action there. The halfway mark, 2:07.97. Very similar to Tom Jeffers in the previous heat. So Fraser will probably be looking to get fairly near his entry time, 4:16.93. East District champion on this event earlier in the season. 3rd at national age groups. And one of the senior bronze squad members. Fraser Allison also the East District 16-year-old champion on all events. So good qualities that this lad has. And he's certainly gone a good body length ahead of Marshall Illingworth, who in turn is a good body length or more ahead of Jonathan Christie and Cameron Kavanagh in lane 6 and 7, who are having a good battle. 3:15 was the split the previous time. 3:14.61. Let's see if Fraser can kick on and get somewhere close to the 3:17 mark, Paul.
Yeah, well, we saw Tom Jeffers swim very strong last 100. It's going to have to be a good time on this last 100 for Fraser Allison to challenge that time from that previous heat of 4:18.55. So we'll see how he goes. But Fraser Allison looks like he's on his way to win this one, unless Marshall Illingworth can do something spectacular in this final 50. He is trying to keep pace with the Warrender man, but it is going to be Fraser Allison, I think, will bring them home. Very good tussle there in 6 and 7. Jonathan Christie and Cameron Kavanagh. Maybe Jonathan Christie just with the edge as they come into the last 15. Keep an eye on the clock now. 4:18.55. I think it's going to slip by, and it is 4:20.46. Marshall Illingworth in second. Well, It shows you how good that last 100 was in the previous heat there by Tom Jeffers.
Yeah, it's a very steady pace there that Fraser had, around about the 106 mark, consistent pacing throughout. So a good steady swim from the Wonder Lad, but as you say there, Paul, a very fast 100 from Tom Jeffers. He was pacing around about the 107 mark, but a super finish to get inside and do the best time we've had so far, 4:18.55. As we move on to heat number 3, our seat.
Yeah, they have the heat underway, heat number 3. First of the seeded heats. And Tom Bailey goes in lane number 1. Daniel Fisher in 2. Gavin Hagerwood in lane number 3. Chris Lowther in 4. Callum Laurie in 5. Murray Quillen in 6. Fraser Beebe in 7. And Rory Loris in lane number 8. Very close indeed in these and that opening 50. We'll keep an eye on this. It's a seeded heat. Chris Lowther, Callum Laurie the fastest 2, and Gavin Hagerwood and Murray Quillen also under the 4:10 mark. So fastest we've seen so far, 4:18.55. So, well, we shall just see how that compares to the times of this heat. Certainly that swim by Tom Jeffers giving himself a good chance of being well up the rankings in terms of this event, but maybe not quite good enough to force his way into that final, the top 8. We'll see how we go there as I come down to 200. Looks like 4 and 5. Side by side here, Callum Laurie. Just with Chris Lowther in lane number 4. Those two going well. Daniel Fisher also looking good, 2:03.67. So a number of the swimmers inside the fastest times we've seen so far, and that is probably to be expected since we are in the seeded portion of these heats. But certainly the top 3 going really well at the moment. Daniel Fisher at the right hand side of your screen there. Chris Lowther just 2 lanes up from him, and Callum Laurie leading at the moment in lane number 5.
And Callum Laurie coming down with just over 100 to go. About 3 metres ahead of Daniel Fisher in lane 2. Lane 4, Chris Lowther. Very little between them. Daniel Fisher just turned in second, ahead of Chris Lowther. However, Callum Laurie in 3:05. Looks as though he's going to take this fairly comfortably with just over 50 to go. Daniel Fisher has now gone into second. He's gone about a metre and a half ahead of Chris Lowther. And it's first Callum Laurie, renowned for 400 IM. Certainly using this as a good prelim for the 400 IM later on. Looking very good to make this evening's final. Callum's entry time 4:04.20. So it's all about the time and the clock for these 3 guys. Finishing strong is Chris Lowther. He looks as though he might just get back up to take second. Callum takes this in 4:09.96. Daniel Fisher just holds on, 4:11.05, and Chris Lowther 4:11.09. They'll keep an eye on those times. Fraser Beebe finishing 4th in 4:17.53.
Well, not much faster than that very first heat, was it?
Not much faster, yeah. So might even be a chance for Tom Jeffers to scrape in, depending on what happens in this one. Although we have some fairly fast guys going in this one.
This is the final heat, 4th and final heat. Joe Watt, City of Glasgow, Morgan Berryman from University of Stirling, Richard Laird from East Kilbride next to Angus Barr, who had a very good swim yesterday in the 1500. Goes in lane 4, the two East Kilbride swimmers in 3 and 4. Jeff Butler and Ross Gale, the two Edinburgh Uni swimmers in 5 and 6. No swimmer in 7, and James Collier goes for Carnegie in lane number 8. We've already seen a couple of these swimmers earlier this morning. Back in the water again, and a good start there in lane number 6. Ross Gale getting away pretty swiftly there over the first 50. But Angus Barr, well, experienced man, Robert, he knows what he's doing. He knew what he was doing last night at the 1500. He wasn't going to be sucked into a fast early pace. He swam his own race and swam it very well.
Yes, he just literally kept on the shoulder of the leader for the first 300 or 400 metres. In fact, he dropped back about 3 metres, and we wondered whether he was just going to have to settle for second, but he came through halfway mark and made his move, and then just pulled away over the last 500 metres or so and won the 1500 very comfortably in just over the 16 minutes. And similar to this, he's just tracking the leader in lane number 6, Ross Gale from Edinburgh University. Just about half a second between the two. Richard Laird in 3rd position. Richard also very strong in distance. East Kilbride produced a lot of good distance swimmers. Meg Finnan, the females, 18-year-old. And coming down to the halfway mark, looks like Angus is probably just about on terms now. 0.21 difference. Angus has just gone ahead of Ross Gale at halfway mark. 3rd place in lane number 3, his teammate Richard Laird. Angus was 8th in the British Tokyo trials just a few weeks ago. Richard Laird 3rd at national age groups. That's where his time comes from. No change. Angus Barr, Ross Gale and Richard Laird coming down towards the final 100.
Yeah, Angus Barr just going to be over the 3-minute mark. 3:03. And great freestyler, great distance freestyler, Angus Barr. A couple of years ago was the man setting all the age group records and the junior records as well 2 or 3 years ago. Not a junior anymore, of course. Angus Barr moving up into the senior ranks and progressing very well indeed, and certainly dominating this final heat. Close contest for second though. Ross Gale just about being caught by Richard Laird there. Jeff Butler is falling back slightly and maybe under threat here to try and make this final. Looks like the top 3 are going to be safe enough here. Angus Barr certainly making sure that he will be in one of the centre lanes for that final this evening. He's coming in a very good time of 4:05.57. He is certainly capable of going a lot faster than that, but he'll be satisfied with that swim. It's 4:09.38 for Ross Gale in second, 4:09.68 for Richard Laird in third position, and Jeff Butler 4:16. Well, he may well make that as well. Possibly it's going to be very tight. I think he might have just sneaked in there.
Yes, I'm sure Jeff that will put him 7th. We'll confirm that later on. I think 4:17 in the previous heat. 4th position probably will be an 8 for the final. And Tom Jeffers